Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it, and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely 2013 release. This is the A Lange Sohne 1815 up-down, reference 234032. 18 karat red gold. The watch is handsome and easy to wear on a smaller wrist. Mine, 16 centimeters in circumference, fits the watch perfectly. The timepiece is a relatively slim 9.1 millimeters thick, so it will fit underneath any dress cuff, no matter how tight the sleeve. And you'll measure it across the wrist at a wonderfully accommodating 45.6 millimeters with the spacing between the lugs of 20 millimeters, which is pretty much the universal strap size. The watch being slender and relatively confined across the wrist, plus with wonderfully compact and tightly curved lug profiles, really acceptable for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. So this is a great unisex option. The strap is rich, substantial. It's a light brown, large rectangular scale alligator leather in a matte finish with a folded edge, a monotone stitch, and as you can see on the underside, there's a black calfskin. This is a new factory strap, so you can see there are no gougings, and the buckle is a brilliant piece. It's a simple pin buckle, but it's also thoughtfully engineered. First, it's handsome, olive high polish with a nice fastening on the flank, and the Lange name deeply set. You also appreciate the fact that there is a elevated bridge over the two prongs of the side. So what that gives you is a buckle that allows the strap to sit inside the buckle rather than stacking up underneath it when it's on your wrist. You'll also appreciate the fact that there's a retaining bar. So if you're like me and you're going to strap this down to the smallest aperture, what you find is that oftentimes the strap can quite literally get pinned on the pin so tightly that it's hard to extricate the thing from your wrist. Well, that retaining bar inside the pin buckle prevents that from happening. So thoughtful engineering and design throughout. That's A Lange Sohne. There's a simple case of high polish with a double horizontal character line formed by the junction of the mid case and the bezel, and then the lugs, also of high polish, are stepped out from the case flank. The crown is Lange branded and small in diameter, dress watch specific. It's low in profile in its own right. The dial is silver and a piece of silver. That is to say, the dial is made from a solid blank of sterling silver, precious metal. It's then galvanized silver, the silvery sheen you see here, and you have Arabic numerals, which signify that this is part of the 1815 collection. Remember, stick indices is Saxonia, Arabic numerals is the 1815, and Roman numerals the Richard Lange. You have lovely blued and polished precious metal, alpha hands at center, and then you have small blued hands for the sub-registers. You have a counterweighted seconds hand for sub-seconds, and then you have a leaf-style hand for the power reserve indicator. You'll also note that both are set into the dial, so they are actually set into the dial to create another focal plane, and there is a small disc comprising the center dial that actually drops down from the hour track. The hour track just inboard of a railroad-style minutes scale, and you can see that there's a little flourish at each of the four corners, a handsome dial, and a surprisingly colorful dial with silver, splashes of red, blue, and black. Turn it all over, and you can see the mechanism powering this opus. This, like any Lange caliber, is often the highlight of the watch. The timepiece is absolutely gorgeous and powered by the 3-day power reserve manual wind caliber L051.1, 21,600 vibrations per hour beat rate, adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer, 29 joules. It features stop seconds, the power reserve, all of this water resistant down to 30 meters. Let's count the features that make this an aesthetic masterpiece. Starting with the click spring. Look how long and graceful that click spring is. It's also satin finished across its top, and the click itself is black polished. That is pocket watch style right there, adjacent to a ratchet wheel that features a satin finish. You'll also note that there are both black polished and fire blued screws on this movement. Get a little bit closer and you can see, let's see how close we can get, that there are Glashutte stripes across the 3/4 style bridge. Because we're not in Switzerland, we're not calling them Côte de Genève. You'll also note that there's a mirrored anglage on the edge of every bridge. Everywhere a bridge ends, you have that mirrored chamfer. There's freehand engraving of the half bridge for the balance, executed by hand, so no two are exactly alike. There's black polish on the swan's neck regulator, and then there's black polish on the cap for the escape wheel. There's also engine-turned perlage on the base plate, and as you can see, jewels are set in screw-fixed chaton, a nod to the pocket watch era when machining standards were insufficient to set the jewel straight into the bridge and keep the pivot aligned. So the chaton would be constructed precisely, separately, and then fixed into a drilling in the bridge by screws. A beautiful nod to the past. You'll also note the three-quarter style bridge architecture. That is also evocative of 19th century and early 20th century Saxon pocket watches that represent the history and the heritage of the model in my hand. Immaculate in its execution front and back. A timepiece that represents the quintessential dress watch. Slim, universal in its size, fearsomely finished on the case back, and elegant on its front. See it and make it yours on the watch box.